Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Ref the District. I'm Nathan. That's Trev. And that's the Stoner. And we're bringing you episode 95 right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Love to see it, man. We've been doing this for 95 episodes. That's just this flagship show. That's not bringing you all the days after reckoning, the extra videos and content we bring on YouTube, all the extra interviews we do with After the Whistle. Man, we really do enjoy bringing you some good content. We hope that you enjoy it. And Gus Bus, I need to find a way to get the song back into the intro. I'm gonna work on that. I have some family coming in, so it might not be till Christmas time. But Gus Bus, consider that your Christmas present for our audio listeners, because we do put this up on audio platforms afterwards. Gus Bus said the yeah. That's his favorite part of the theme song. So obviously we got the beat going underneath us right now, and we've got one heck of a show for you as we will be previewing the Washington Commanders against the Houston Texans. And after a big win, is this going to be a trap game? Now, there are some people who say you can't call it a trap game because Washington's just not that good. But I'm pretty sure, at least my definition, Stoner, Trev, correct me, if you have a different definition there. My definition of a trap game is where you go in thinking you're going to win it. You're coming off of a big win, and you're looking forward to the next opponent. Not that Atlanta is necessarily an opponent we're looking forward to, but a lot of fans have their eyes past these four games. You got Houston, Atlanta, the Giants, bye week Giants. People are looking at 4-0 off of those, and so that's why I'm thinking this one could be a trap game. You're looking too far ahead. Team is 5-5. Got to win this one game at a time.
Yeah, that's not my definition of a trap game. The one that you said where you're looking past this opponent to your next opponent because it's a bigger game. And Atlanta's not a bigger game. Yeah. But you can have all your definitions. The point is, are we overlooking Houston? Trap game, overlooking, whatever you want to call it. It's about this coming week, and if they can keep this momentum going.
Trav, you got a different definition of a trap game there?
No, I think the trap game definition is the same as yours, Nathan. I think if you're overlooking the current opponent to the next week's opponent, whether it's big or small, no matter what, if you just overlook your current opponent, I think it's a definition of a trap game. But like Stoner said, there's so many different definitions. There's no right or wrong one. But
Stoner's is a very simple one, but I think it's a nice, clean one. Let us know in the comment section if you got a different version of a trap game there, or if you agree with either one of the versions that we presented. That's going to be what we talk about in the game. After the game and our cool down, we will be bringing you the Dalla, making our little game props, which soon Stoner and I get to do that actually on the FanDuel's apps and all the little.
Oh, welcome.
And everything. Not yet. I said soon. But it's not going to stop us because we enjoy making our fun little game predictions. Of course, we'll be doing the full-on game prediction as well. So stick around for that. Let us hear what you think is going to happen. I already see a couple of the comments thinking Washington's going to lose this one. So we'll see what we think about that during the game. Here in the warm-up, we're going to get fired up talking about the controversy. That's right. Taylor Heinicke gets the starting nod because Carson Wentz didn't even suit up, didn't get activated. Not going to happen. Taylor Heinicke is going to start this game against the Houston Texans. But we did have a poll. We'll be talking about that poll and what it means for Washington going forward. Not the poll, the decision to start Heinicke and not activate Carson Wentz.
Yet.
Now, what we're actually going to start off with, there's an article Stoner found that, I think is Washington Post.
Richmond Times-Dispatch.
Our
cousins, RTD.
The other RTD. Yeah. Stoner told Trev and I, don't read this. It's okay. Trev and I don't read. It's fine.
Not a hard task.
Not a hard task. He told us don't read it. It's because he wanted to go over it and see if we can figure out the top 10 stories out of the 26 stories that are the other RTD identified. So
okay.
Give us a good lead in there, Stoner.
All right. So these are the top 26 stories of the Commanders season so far. This can be on or off the field. Okay. And this is prior to the last game. Who did we play? I already forgot. Philly. This is
What you
prior
mean?
to the Philly game. Okay, so we can't talk about the Philly game. Is not part of it. I'm going to give you number 10. Okay, just to kind of give you, a little.
Give us 11 if we're going to give you the top 10.
Okay,
give us 11.
The number 11 story of the season so far, according to the Richmond Times-Dispatch, is Jason Wright objecting to the Wentz interview with Scott Abraham from Channel 7 News, or Channel 7 Sports
I
specifically.
remember that.
So that was the number 11 story for the Commander season so far.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna ask Nathan first. Can you give me a top 10 story? And I want to hear, or I want to see from everybody who is in the chat what they think, without cheating, might be a top 10 story for the Commander season so far.
When we say season, we're specifically looking at from week 1 forward.
No, we're talking about from the start of the league year.
Start of the league
March,
year.
sometime in March.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify because obviously there was a lot of things happening. This is not my number 1 story, but I feel like it would be a top 10 story, and that's Washington trading for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I don't think that counts. I think it's since then. Sorry, how about this? How about starting since
Stoner?
What?
Your audio, dude. Your audio is jacked up. We're gonna we'll wait. I don't know
It sounds like you're yelling.
But my goodness.
Do it again, Stoner. Say something else.
What? My audio went bad?
Yes, your
There it
audio
is.
was
It's better now.
atrocious. You sounded like you're an intercom system.
Oh,
Yeah, you were like this. You were talking like this, and that's the story.
my bad. How about? Are we okay now?
You were essentially talking like you had a megaphone on, and
Like you were Jimmy Hart out there from Hulk Hogan days.
we could not have that going on.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay.
Stoner's like, no. Let me explain. No. You just need to stop. You just
Oh, okay.
right there. All right.
Good.
So,
All right.
You said Carson Wentz being traded or trading for Carson Wentz isn't the type of stories this is going to.
Sorry, it is. Sorry. I apologize. Yes, that is the number 8
Okay.
story.
That's a
of the
big
top
story. That Washington goes and gets a quarterback. They trade essentially what's probably going to end up being 2/3. Have to pay $28 million. One of the biggest names that was out there for being traded once you actually got rid of the actual big names.
Yeah.
I felt that was pretty impactful. Number 8 though.
Number 8. So, and that was huge. And that's only
not number 1. There's a lot of people who I think are giving out the number 1 in our by the way, I like this. Attention Kmart shoppers. That's exactly what that was.
My bad. We fixed it though. I hope. I'm going to be very cognizant of it.
We're going to burgundy and gold you. That's a throwback. This is episode 95. We used to have to burgundy and gold Trev when his mic went crazy. That was our code word for fix your microphone, Trev.
All right, Trev, give me a top 10 story.
Don't give him number 1 though. I see a lot of people giving away number 1 there.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to work my way down there, but yeah, this has to be number 1.
That's correct. That is number 1.
Snyder selling the team's number 1.
So my top 10 is B-Rob getting shot in the leg twice and coming back.
That's good. That is number 2, the second biggest story of the year. You guys are doing pretty well. I'm surprised. I mean, those are probably pretty big, but yeah. All right. Nathan. No, Nathan, you cheated. You gave the number 1. Trev, you're up again.
It's
my segment.
Number 1.
It's my segment. I get to make the rules.
a top 10 story for us.
Yep.
Is it going to be the Mark Mosley name tag incident?
All right, let me see.
I really hope that's not even in the 26.
It's not top 10, but I'm looking 22, 23, 25. No, it is not even top 26.
Good.
That's such a
thank you. I called that. I said it wasn't a big deal.
I'm going to go with Gus Bus's trading down in the first round is what I feel like should be and maybe not a top 10, but I feel like it's a top 26.
It's definitely not top 10, so that's why I'm looking at the back end here.
I'm surprised he doesn't have Trev. You know how he has that giant notebook. I'm surprised he doesn't have his notebook out.
No, it is not
even
in top 26.
Wow.
I got one.
All right.
The firing of defensive lineman coach Sam Mills and the promotion of Mr. Z. I don't know how to say his name to save my life, but
it's Zagonia or Skanina. That's what it is. No, that is number 14.
Oh,
I'm opening it up for a free for all.
All right.
I'm going to start.
Is the name change one of the top 10? That's February 2nd.
Yeah, it was
prior to the league year starting.
Yep.
Okay, so there goes that one. JDR's Twitter comments.
Oh, yeah.
Good one. That is number 3.
Really?
Extending Terry McLaurin.
Extending Terry McLaurin is number not top 10.
Wow.
17.
Appropriate.
Maybe there's something behind
maybe deliberate. Doug's saying Dan stepping aside from day-to-day operations. That was last year that he had to step.
Yep, that was last year.
Carson Wentz fracturing his ring finger.
Nope, not even in here.
Not it. I'm assuming William Jackson III isn't even in there then.
It is actually.
Really?
Jackson getting traded.
Okay.
Is number 12. Some of these, I mean, all of them, you're going to be like, oh yeah.
Jamin Davis is the comments against Jamin Davis.
Yes, but not top 10. Okay. I don't believe. 24.
Dan Snyder getting sued by the
DA.
Yeah, I believe that one comes in at number. That's pretty high, I thought.
Has to be number 3 or 4 or 5.
No, it's actually.
Well, we got 1, 2, and 3 already, right?
Okay.
Nope, sorry, I don't think it's in there.
Mary Jo White investigation.
Nope.
Wow.
All right, you ready?
Give us this top 10.
I'm gonna actually give you the top 26 real fast.
Okay.
26 was the Washington State Mugs rather than the DC Mugs.
Oh wow. Okay.
25, the raffle winners check bounces. 24, which is one that was named, was the Jamin Davis critique and how he responded on Twitter or on Instagram, whatever that was.
It was an Instagram story.
23 was when Rivera defended Wentz.
Yeah.
The signing of Wentz or the trading for Wentz. 22 is Chase Young's slow return. 21 is Curtis Samuel's big game over Jacksonville, game 1.
I don't remember it.
Remember, he was everywhere. He was running, catching.
He ran like 5 times. He caught everything. Everyone was like, "Where's Terry McLaurin?" Curtis Samuel's doing all the work, and Jahan Dotson was out there.
And who was quarterbacking? That's all right. Go ahead next.
Yep. We'll get to that next.
Number 20 was the quarterback comment from Ron Rivera. Why are they not doing as well as?
Yeah,
I forgot about that already.
That should have been higher, don't you think?
I think that should have been higher, but then again, we didn't remember it. So,
yep, right there.
Yeah, Ron blaming QB for a bad record. That one, oh man, I can't believe that's still this year.
Number 19 is when Jerry and Dan had that little talk before the Cowboys game, and the picture and all that other stuff.
Photo op. That's lame.
18
back there with the mug.
18 is when DEA Ryan made his deal with the feds.
Not DEA Ryan.
DEA Ryan right there. 17, of course, was the McLaurin extension. 16 was the statement about Brian Robinson that the team came back and said, Brian Robinson's got shot and you want to come after us kind of deal.
We for that one. That was awful.
15 was the new fight song and how everybody hated it.
I still do.
14, you named Trev, the Sam Mills getting fired. 13 was Trent Williams being left off the 90 greatest, the original 90 greatest, or the last 10 that we're supposed to get in. He wasn't even an option. 12 was William Jackson trade, which we talked about. 11 was the Jason Wright talking about the Wentz interview with Scott Abraham.
Yeah.
All right, number 10.
By the way, so has access to all the players, but go ahead.
Number 10, Terry's big day against Indy and the big catch and going home and all that stuff.
Okay.
Family, leadership.
I like that because that's a positive thing, right? I think we were thinking, what are these negative stories?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, you're thinking all negative, right? Right. All right. Number 9 was the big ESPN report that came out with, I think, Seth Wickersham and a couple others, and had all those owners off the record, and they have the votes and all that other stuff that got Jim Irsay talking, which there's a little foreshadowing right there.
To say Jim Irsay's comments got to probably be number 4, right?
Yeah. Up there. Trade for Carson Wentz was number 8. What's Carson Wentz's number? Oh, he's 11. For some reason, I was thinking he was 8. Number 7 is the Jim Irsay comments that he made saying there's merit to removing Snyder. All right. Number 6, fans booing Tanya Snyder at the home game on the
Mandalorian that one up there.
Yep. Number 5 is when Virginia decided they are not going to build the stadium. And the legislature said, we are not paying for a stadium. We're not helping pay for a stadium.
Yeah.
So you got 1, 2, and 3, which was the sale, announcing the sale, Brian Robinson getting shot, Del Rio's dust up comment. And number 4 was Goodell testifying while Dan was still overseas and having to basically, speak for Dan almost.
Yeah.
So he testified before the House Oversight Committee. So there you go. There's your top 26. We forget about all these. Now,
I mean, there's this one from Doug, the phony Chase Young football camp story.
Yeah.
Remember, he was, well, I guess we said the slow Chase Young start, right? Yeah. So maybe that gets coupled into that, because that was one of the things people were like, oh, he's not coming back because he re-injured himself. He's limping at the Ohio State game.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Okay, so here's the question for you, though. Here's the question. Where does beating Philadelphia, an undefeated Eagles team on Monday Night Football, where do you put that? Because, again, this was before that. Where are you going to put that?
Number
2?
Yeah, because nothing beats Dan Snyder selling the team. I don't give a damn if we win the NFC Championship. If we even win a Super Bowl, that becomes number 2. Number 1 is the dark cloud will be removed soon.
I don't even register. Like, it was exciting. I loved it. I loved the spirit of it. But we're moving on to Houston. I don't think about that game. That's February 27th. Yeah.
We've been there before. We did it 2 years ago.
You know what happened the last time this team beat an undefeated team from the great state of Pennsylvania?
Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
NFC's champions, baby. That's what happened.
And that team derailed. Philadelphia's wheels about to come off. Exposed.
I mean, they already went and got some old veteran.
But Washington played a good game, but I'm not going to register that one as one of the the biggest stories from 26. Especially because how many people are like, oh, the Rafts this, and Washington. I will say this, final thoughts. Let's get final thoughts out on that Philadelphia game since we brought it up. I'm going to go first. Washington, I felt, played the better game, was the better team. I will say having 4 turnovers and help them get to 32 points. They're not going to get 4 turnovers against Houston, and their offense might struggle again. So my final thoughts are they need to do something on offense to consistently score points, because you're not going to get that lucky again.
That's his justification for pining for Carson Wentz. That's just his way of saying they need to make a change at quarterback without saying they need to make a change at quarterback. That's what he's saying. Is he not, Trev?
Trev, didn't I side with Stoner yesterday? I said Taylor Heinicke is going to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that yesterday, but you didn't say anything about offense scoring points or anything.
Oh yeah, the offense has been abysmal. I mean, even if you're talking to this Philadelphia game, Joey Sly had 14 points. He had as much as the offense because you got to think 6 points came from the defensive touchdown at the end. So Joey Sly scored half the points against Philadelphia. The offense needs to
you got to have an offense to put him in a position to do that.
Oh, see, now Trev's coming. Look, you guys just flip flop. Now Trev's all on the Taylor Heinicke way.
I never said the Taylor Heinicke anything.
All right.
Last thoughts, Trev, on the Philadelphia game.
Defense, man. Our defense is for real again. I think that's the biggest thing I noticed, that we were giving JDR and the defense so much crap. We were saying, get rid of William Jackson, who's wild goose, bring in this, don't, bench Jamin Davis, go get another linebacker off the street. Like, we were coming up with all kinds of wild and creative solutions rather than just letting it gel together as time went on. And that's what's going on. The defense is playing as one again. And when that happens, we create turnovers, we get nationally recognized, we get people Pro Bowl votes, and we get wins. So I think the defense is
studly. There was a stat. I'm going to see if I can't find it here on Twitter on just how good this defensive line is. Really I'm just going to paraphrase it because I'm not going to try to dig it up. The amount of yards pre-contact is like 0.55, and it's well above everybody else. I'm going to see if I can't find it because I hate giving out misinformation. But Stoner, while I'm looking it up, why don't you go ahead and give me your final thoughts on the
and pair that when you find that, remind me to pair that Houston is dead last in giving up, or first in giving up, however the worst of yards after contact. I heard that stat when I was watching the Giants Texas game.
So which one was this?
That the Texans are the worst at giving up, or they give up the most yards after contact. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I think it pairs up with the stat you're trying to find.
So this is from Grant Paulson, by the way. Great stat to show how dominant Allen and Payne are and how good the front is. Here are the best teams at rush yards allowed before contact. Commanders at number 1, 0.65. You get barely half a yard before somebody in burgundy and gold is taking you on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Titans, 49ers, and Eagles round out the rest of it. 0.76, 0.93, 0.93.
That absolutely does not pair up with what I was mentioning, but still, it's just another stat to add on top of that. But the last thing I want to say about that Eagles game, I still think the Eagles are a better overall team, but in this one particular game, Washington was better in all facets. Every facet of the game, Washington was better on that day. I think if they play 10 times, Philadelphia probably wins 7 of those games, which makes them a bet. I mean, after the first game, Trev, everybody said Philadelphia wins 9, 10 out of 10 games. And then all of a sudden, Washington wins a game. And then all of a sudden, Philadelphia sucks and Washington's great. Let's not be a prisoner of the moment. Okay.
We had a great game. We had a great game. That was week 3. We were still, everybody in the NFL is still trying to figure out who they are by week 3.
Yeah.
They just happened to play us at our weakest moment. But now, bro, and before us, they really haven't faced a defensive line like ours or a defense really like ours. So I don't really think that they were as good as that 8-0 record was. I mean, yeah, they're undefeated for a reason, but it's not like they were out here facing us every week or Tampa Bay every week or
the Bills easy schedule.
You know what I mean? So
sure.
I do really think that we kind of showed the world who they really are when the going gets tough. They've never had to come back from behind all year until Monday night. And
first time they were losing I think
our game really literally exposed a lot of things that we need to know about the Eagles the rest of the season, for real, in my opinion.
I was really impressed with the overall execution of everything from every facet of the game.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked at all those stats and I went through how many times Washington had pre-snap motion when they ran the ball. And I don't remember what I ended up with. I have it written down over here. It doesn't matter. The point is, on about 90% of their runs, they had pre-snap motion. They had one false start the whole game. And it wasn't on one of those motion guys, right? It was on Cornelius Lucas. He just popped just a fraction of a second too quick. I think they had one holding penalty.
Yeah.
I think they should have had a face mask penalty, but they didn't. They had a defensive pass interference call and an offensive pass interference call. I think that's it. They played disciplined football. They played not mistake-free football, but they,
for the most part,
but they won the turnover battle. They won the line of scrimmage. They won the time of possession. They did everything that they need to do in order to win the game, and they ended up winning it fairly handily.
Yep.
At the end, not throughout the whole game. Yeah. So I was just impressed with everything. I thought coaching was really good, right? I thought clock management was really good. I thought execution, play calling, everything. It was probably their most complete game of the year.
We messed this one up earlier, so I wanted to make sure I got it up there. This is a $2 donation from your mom's favorite player. Is the NFC East fake due to the easy schedule?
No.
Yes.
No.
Relatively speaking, yes, it is. You can only play who you're going to play, right? And that's fair, but absolutely it's easier than it was last year when the NFC East was playing the AFC East and the NFC South, right? And they're playing Tampa and they're playing New England. Maybe I'm off on that one, but you know what I mean? They're playing Buffalo. You know, they had a tough schedule. They played the Chiefs, all these teams. That's what we did. We played the AFC West, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, all that. So relatively speaking, it's a little bit fake, but that's okay. You play who you have to play, and then you figure it all out at the end.
Yeah, there's still a lot to, you know, I remember going into the season, all these teams had their record strength of schedule records were like super low, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think as things are playing out, you're seeing a little bit of a difference. Now, the Giants, they beat the Titans. The Titans, I would say, are a pretty decent team. They lose to the Cowboys. Maybe we leave the NFC East teams out of it. The Packers haven't looked that great. The Ravens, they beat the Ravens. The Ravens can be wishy-washy, but are generally seen as a good team. They did lose to the Seahawks. So, I mean, that's your Giants schedule. The Bengals, let's see who they beat. This is Cowboys now. The Rams have not looked good this year. And I mean, there's the Packers. I mean, the Cowboys haven't really played anybody. Lost to the Buccaneers at the beginning of the season. Buccaneers are okay, I guess. But yeah, the Bengals win is really the only thing they can hang their hat on because the Rams have been awful, and that's about it there. I mean, again, the Packers in there have been kind of okay. And then this is one of the biggest things that people have been hammering the Eagles about is their undefeated schedule was the Lions, Vikings, Commanders, Jaguars, Cardinals, Cowboys, Steelers, Texans. And then they took the L against the Commanders the second time round. Well, I mean, which of those teams are good? You're going to consider the Cowboys good? Vikings are good.
Cowboys are good.
Yeah, Vikings are good. That's probably it on their.
The Lions are better.
So
Lions are better. They've won 2 in a row. So I don't know.
Yeah, I would have to say yes. The NFC East is a little inflated right now, but I would not say to the point where don't expect them to be an easy out come playoff time. At least not the Commanders. The Cowboys might be an easy out. The Eagles might be an easy out. The Giants might not even make the playoffs.
There's some people that saying that the NFC East division. Yeah, we'll probably get all 4 in the playoffs this year.
That'd be something.
Would be something.
Well, to get there, they're going to need a QB, and we thought we had a QB controversy on our hands.
But we don't.
We do not. Taylor Heinicke is going to get the nod here against the Houston Texans. We put up a poll, which I'm going to refresh just real quick, just to see if we got any more votes, which we did. 901 voted. 86% went with Taylor Heinicke. Carson Wentz got only 14% there. Some of the things that people had to say is, if Scott Turner afforded Wentz the same luxury as Heinicke with the run-heavy play calling, it wouldn't even be a discussion for me. I love Heinicke and his energy, but Wentz's arm with the speed of those wide receivers could be very dangerous if there's a legitimate threat of run setting up the play action. That's from Eric K. Appreciate you chiming in with the poll. And we've got a couple others, but what did you guys think of Eric's comments there?
What was the first part of it? Read the first part real quick.
If Scott Turner afforded Wentz the same luxury as Heinicke with the run-heavy play calling, it wouldn't even be a discussion for me.
Well, to be fair, I think the reason that one of the big reasons that they're doing that is because of Taylor's inability to throw the ball downfield. So they have to run it more when Taylor's in there. Now, hopefully he did learn from that and say, you know what? We can still run the ball heavily and have Carson throw it down the field.
Which is, I don't understand why, they are having a hard time figuring out, or it's even a discussion, because Carson Wentz just came from where? Indianapolis. And he had a running back that was better than Gibby and B-Rob combined. I mean, the man was MVP discussion. So obviously it can work. We just got to do it. I just feel like Scott Turner was like, oh, yeah, we got a big arm. Let's do a bunch of 7-step drop backs and launch this thing. It was like, nah, bro. Use the running game, then let the cannon loose after that. So I agree wholeheartedly with that comment by Eric. I believe that I believe it all. If we provide the same playbook that we do with Taylor with Carson, then who knows what we can do.
You never know. Yeah.
And I don't think I think running, it should be a part of the game plan, but with Carson Wentz, you're not going to see a lot of dinking and dunking. You're going to see some of those bigger plays developing, but you also have to put in some of those mid-range, and you have to put on some of those things that Taylor Heinicke is seeing, but that could also be Carson Wentz just looking for the big payday every time. And so I think there's a little bit mix and match there, and we'll see. And I think both QBs are flawed. Shadow Pop here, though, says Heinicke should have been the starter anyway, and the Commander should have took that $27 million that they are paying Wentz and build the offensive line. We draft our future QB that should be ready next year. What do you guys think of Heinicke starting this entire season?
No. Robert Guerra knows who Heinicke is. He is a quality backup. He's a roller coaster. He's even said it this season. He's a roller coaster. I understand, we could have probably used the money on like the O-line or something else, but like we're only saying this about Taylor because we're 5-5 with Taylor and he's 3-1 this season. It's not like he's been a winning quarterback for us this entire time he's been here. So, no, what we did is fine. We just thought Carson would stay healthy and be a better quarterback, and it hasn't worked out because of injuries.
I mean, the kid went as a starter 7-8 last year. He wasn't that great. They went into the offseason. Their number one priority was to get a real quarterback. They went after Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, all of these guys. The year before, they went after Stafford. Deshaun Watson, they even kind of looked out for that as well because they know Taylor Heinicke's not the guy. Heinicke's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. When your number one goes down, you go in there and you rally the team and you keep them afloat until the number one is ready. And then when the number one's ready, they'll probably bring him back. Now, if they keep winning, regardless of how he's playing, if they keep winning, he's going to continue to play. But it's easy to say that looking back now, saying that they should have taken that money and spent it somewhere else and kept Taylor and drafted a quarterback. You can't. The three of us here, everybody in the chat, everybody would have been screaming their head off at this organization for not having a quarterback this year and having Taylor Heinicke as your number one going in. that would not have sat well with anybody. So there's no way they were doing that. And we know it. They know it. He's not the guy.
George Carmi is what I'm finding. He tweeted 2 days ago. It's a stat about Taylor Heinicke. 19 interceptions and 7 fumbles in 20 games for Taylor Heinicke.
Yeah.
Okay.
26 turnovers in 20 games.
I mean,
you can't. That's not sustainable.
No, you
that's
can't.
not sustainable.
It's not even close. So,
yeah.
Got another one here. This one's from Kevin in the PRF. I'm in the minority. Wentz all the way. Heinicke has played good, not great, and at sometimes bad. 64 QBR is his best game. Wentz got a raw deal from Turner on how the offense should be run early on. Is that commitment to the run? Are those slants? Most important, Redskin fans should know if you have 2 starting QBs, you have none. That's starting Heinicke means both QBs will have one eye in the rear view the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, would you rather be Houston, where they've kind of done what people are suggesting that Washington should have done and just had this quarterback, whatever, spend money elsewhere, and you want to be 1-7-1? No, I mean that's just not it. So they're doing the right thing, but I will tell you, if they win this week and he plays average, he's going to play the next week.
No, he's not.
He just is.
There are a few comments along that lines of like Big Simple here. You got to go with the hot hand and Heinicke.
But he's not the hot hand. That's what I'm saying. Like, the defense is carrying us these past few games. Yeah, Taylor's made some good decisions like kneeling and throwing out of bounds and finding Terry. But also he is taking chances and not taking what the defense gives him and puts us in that heart attack panic mode every single game.
Yeah.
Especially when we have the lead.
Yeah,
so
he has not dominated a game in the way that, or at least been very good in a game in the way that we've seen Carson Wentz have those moments. So now that being said, William Cooper here says, because Taylor Heinicke is a better fit for this offense. He knows our offense inside out. We all know that, and he can get out of the pocket, sacrifice his body when he wants to get the first down and more. And he has a way better chance for us to continue winning games to get into the playoffs this year. That's right, because we are not tankers.
Fan base just gets so caught up.
Everyone loves themselves the backup QB. You know that. Everybody loves that backup QB.
Yeah, if he's like Chase Daniel or something like that, but he's
Taylor Heinicke is one of the top tier backup quarterbacks.
Top 5.
Really, exactly why that's what he is. He's just a backup quarterback. That's his job. He's not a starting quarterback.
I commented it earlier. I shared it up on the screen, but even I think Taylor knows where he is, right? I don't remember who commented on that, but Taylor knows it. And Taylor even said now part of this is being humble, but he said at the beginning of the season, and he said it again when he was asked, what do you think about Wentz coming back? And he said, hey, I'm ready to be in that backup role. If that's where the team needs me, that's what's going to happen. And that makes him even more endearing to fans and the team. But in the end, this isn't about heart. This isn't about anything other than winning football games. And Washington's going to put in whichever one of these quarterbacks gives them the best chance to win football games.
No, I disagree with that. Because we all say that Carson Wentz gives this team the best chance to win football games, right? They're not going to go to him if they continue to win. They're just not.
Yes, they are.
There is something. Listen, there's an intangible. There's a skin tangible about Taylor Heinicke.
My man brought up the skin tangible.
See, skin tangible gives it a bad name, right? But there's an intangible. There's a leadership quality that you cannot quantify, that you cannot sit there and write down and say this is why. But people follow Taylor Heinicke.
Only
and they play for him. As long as he wins, he's going to be the quarterback.
I'm telling you right now, if Carson Wentz does not break his finger and we still win the same amount of games as we have right now, we're still 5-5.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to say the same thing, that the team is rallying still behind Taylor, even though we're winning with Carson. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. If we're winning, they're going to rally behind him. They're saying it now because Taylor's been there for 2 years and he just happens to be in. They're winning. But if Carson was doing, they'd say the same thing about Carson.
Right. I think Trev's just proved my point.
But doesn't mean it deserves to be starting just because I rally behind him.
I don't think it's anything that you can sit there and see from an outside perspective. It's something within that room, within that team, that chemistry. You can't measure chemistry.
The only thing Taylor has chemistry with is Terry McLaurin. That's it. Who else does he have chemistry with? I don't understand why people are rallying behind him when he only throws to Terry McLaurin.
It's not about that's what I'm saying. See, Trev, you're trying to quantify it. I'm trying to say it's something that you can't quantify. It's not about throwing to Terry. It's not about kneeling down necessarily when he did. Okay.
What the hell can it possibly be? Because he buys Jordans? Like I'm literally
listen. Do you remember when Defoe had that interception? Or not interception, the fumble recovery after Quez Watkins caught the ball.
Yeah.
And remember, they all went to the sidelines.
Who was right there?
The first one there was Taylor Heinicke.
Well, who cares? What does that even mean?
Ran into him because he was up there.
What I'm saying, it's just something that guys gravitate
he ran
towards.
Up and he's
one of those things, Trev.
Because he knew he was getting the ball back. If Carson Wentz was starting quarterback, he would have been there too. Chase Young is first there all the time. Doesn't matter who's the first one to congratulate somebody off the sidelines. That means nothing.
You're just trying to, like I said, you're just trying to put a measurement on it, and you just can't.
You just did too with him coming to the sideline being happy.
You're right.
With me saying that he likes to connect with Tyler, whatever his name is, McLaurin. So it can't be that.
It's not. I'm saying it's not just that. There's more to it. It's just it's a leadership quality that guys gravitate towards, whether he's better or not. Now, listen, if Wentz is winning, it's moxie. I'm sorry.
It's moxie.
That's the word. That's the word.
It's the same reason. I'm going to give you another name that no one's brought up this season because Jalen Hurts is doing so well, but Gardner Minshew. Remember Minshew Mania? It's the same thing. The guy just has moxie. Taylor has moxie. People, Minshew's teammates were rallying around him as well. Fans loved him. Everyone wanted him. Everyone's like, this guy's going to be great. No, he's a backup quarterback.
And
Taylor's the same way. There's just not a definitive QB1 here like Philadelphia has in Jalen Hurts to keep that hype.
That's the difference.
Heinicke hype train.
But on paper there is, because it's Carson Wentz and the money we pay for him. That's literally why
money doesn't matter. The money does not matter.
Even Taylor Heinicke said, "You're paying the man $30 million." That
was the beginning of the year. That's totally different.
It's only because he got hurt. I'm telling you guys.
Well, I know. Of course, it's only because he got hurt. 100%.
That's the only reason we're having this conversation.
But this is where we are now.
We'll be back when he's healthy. I promise.
Not if Washington wins. I'm telling you. And you know what?
We win and Taylor throws 0 touchdowns like he did last night again, and maybe 2 picks, but we still find a way to win. Carson Wentz, when healthy, will be starting next week. Carson's going to get the starting nod back. I hate to say it, but he's going to get it back. It's going to be his job to lose again, whether we win or not. That's just how it is. Ron Rivera went out and got him because he already knew what Taylor had. We knew this would happen. We all knew this had a chance of happening.
Circumstances change, though, Trev.
No, it has not changed.
It has.
It has not, bro.
Won 3 out of 4 games
last year.
As long as he wins, he's going to stay the starter. That's just the way it is.
I'm not going to go that far, Stoner. QBs are not, or wins are not a QB stat.
Thank you.
It's not. Because if they win, but he throws 2 interceptions, has a fumble. They're not going to start him.
Right.
They're going to move on. In fact, you might see an emergency Sam Howell situation if he's that bad and they come back and Sam Howell wins. And then you're going to hear people saying Sam Howell needs to be the starter. No, Carson
Listen,
wins.
You're absolutely right. If they win and he plays horrible, they would go back to Carson. But that's why I keep saying if they win and he plays like he played this past week when he didn't have any touchdowns and he had 2 turnovers, he's going to play the following week. I'm telling you, there's no way. And you heard, Trev, I know you watch all of those talk shows, right?
Yeah.
You heard Ryan Clark, right? And who we all respect, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said there is absolutely zero chance they go back to Carson Wentz at this point, as long as Taylor continues to lead the team to victories.
They also
said zero.
That there was zero chance for us to beat the Philadelphia Eagles on a Monday night.
right.
Being down 11 as the underdog.
Because I'm asking you, and I'm asking you guys, can Ron Rivera walk into the locker room they play Sunday on Monday morning, right? They have their meetings on Monday morning. Everybody comes in and gets their treatment and all that stuff. And he's walk in. He cannot, and they've won 4 out of 5, right? They're above 500. They're absolutely rolling. He can't go into that locker room and say, we're making a change at quarterback.
Yes, you can.
He will absolutely lose a bunch
Dallas did this already. I know you said it's a bad idea, but listen, on
it's
paper,
so different.
I like how we took the controversy and have
at the
made
same
it
time, it's not different. I'm not throw away stats. Throw all that shit away. Excuse me.
Well, you can't. That's the point.
No, listen, you kind of have to, because Dak was not having great stats in Dallas. He had a couple of good years, whatever, but he's really not that great of a quarterback. Even Dallas knows that. Carson Wentz is quarterback 1. He were paid him $30 million. They gave Dak a lot of money too. Dak injured his finger or throwing shoulder, whatever. Cooper Rush came in, held his own, 3-1 or 4-1 with goofy stats, and they went back to Dak. Why? He's QB1. He has the contract that proves so, and he's QB1. Carson Wentz, we went out and got him to be QB1. Whether he's performed well or not, he deserves that chance because we took on the $28 million. We went and got him to be QB1. And just because of a bad broken finger and a winning streak, we're going to shove him up because Taylor has a hot streak because of the defense.
Here's the problem.
I just want to make sure everyone understands. Taylor Heinicke is not on a hot streak. Okay.
Thank you. That's my point.
The team is on a hot streak. I just want to make sure we're clear here because everyone keeps talking like Taylor Heinicke's going out there throwing for 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. The man is averaging 210 yards and has more turnovers than he does touchdowns.
He's Cooper Rush in Dallas, bro.
Yes, he is.
When you go back to Carson,
the difference, Trev, again, the difference is Dak Prescott led this team to a 12-4 record last year.
I know.
Okay, he's been the quarterback for 5-6 years.
I'm basing it off of this year.
He's the quarterback.
He also went into Minnesota last year and beat Minnesota on the 2-game whatever, and they still went back to Dak. So it doesn't matter about the 12-4.
Right.
It matters who QB1 is.
Okay. We're never gonna. Again, I'm not trying to play the start of the season, please. Yeah, that's true.
Everybody was. It was the only one.
For our audio listeners, because he mumbled through that, I was trying to get Stoner to read Bonafide thing here. Bonafide Picker says again. Someone remind Trev how angry he was with Wentz's play at the start of the season, please.
Did we score points? Did we score points?
The first 2 games.
First 2 games.
Okay.
Not the last 4.
But we look like a little bit better offense until this last game.
We're never going to agree on this, Trev. But as I said last night on Day After Reckoning, okay, I'm telling you, our opinions don't matter, right? Because right,
we're representative. We definitely.
I'm telling you, that's what the team is going to do.
How do you know that? Are you working for Jason Wright undercover? Because if you are, I need some money.
Trev, I'm the Stoner.
I forgot.
I'm just telling you that.
I think we need an early dollar on this one.
Ooh.
Well, for sure. I mean, but it's week to week because, again, if they go out and they win and he throws 4 picks, they're going back to Carson Wentz. But if he goes out and they win and he has a game like he had this past week, which wasn't very good, they're sticking with him. They just are.
Last question.
Yeah, I was about to say we're gonna move this along.
Okay, we gotta move on to Houston.
Last question.
Report comes out: Carson Wentz cleared to practice. He's back to practicing after the poor performance today. Let's just say he actually practiced today, and he was 100% healthy. You think he'd start Sunday?
No, 100% no.
Why? Taylor Heinicke had one pick, a sack, fumble, loss, and no touchdowns.
Carson Wentz is not starting this week. Period.
That's literally different than what you
He's just not. Even if he comes back tomorrow and starts practicing tomorrow, he is going to ride the bench this week. He is not ready. He's just simply not ready coming back from that injury. He is.
Well, that's not fair. I don't care if he's ready. I told you last night that they're going to say he's not ready.
Stoner, I'm trying to move this along.
Even if he's
Taylor
ready,
Heinicke is the starter for the game against the Houston Texans, which is exactly what we're going to be talking about coming up here on The Game.
The Game is brought to you by Pacers Running Stores. Pacers has 5 stores in Northern Virginia and DC. For the best running footwear, apparel, and gear, just stop by or schedule a virtual fitting with the best running experts in the business. Pacers Running exists to help as many people as possible through running. For every run, it's Pacers Running.
Shout out to our sponsor there, Pacers Running. Great group of people getting you in the right pair of shoes, and they have donated to our Ref the District Season of Giving. You can get yourself a pair of shoes from their store. All you have to do is make a donation to our Season of Giving, the Fisher House. Great stuff. We got a couple sweet tickets, a couple $100 gift cards, a swag bag from one of our other sponsors. That's the Sky Bar. Lots of good things coming from that. So we appreciate everyone who's already donated. Let's get to $1,000 and let's keep this show on the move.
All right.
The Texans don't look good, and they're facing a Taylor Heinicke himself, who has gone 3-1, according to some of our fans. No, the team is on a bit of a heater. Even the game against Minnesota, they were playing well for the majority, and Vikings did what the Vikings do, came back to win that one. Otherwise, this Commanders team has looked very competitive over even before the Carson Wentz injury, as they beat the Bears and came down to the wire against the Titans. So this team has been competitive for the last 6 weeks. Can they be competitive against the lowly Texans, the 1-7-1 Texans, who, by the way, are 0-3-1 at home?
They're a horrific. I love using that word. They are a horrific football team. Up and down that roster, they're bad. They're bad defensively. They're bad offensively. As you said, they don't play well at home. They play some fairly competitive games, but I think that has to do more with the other team not playing well. They got smoked by the Raiders, by the way. I mean, the Raiders are bad.
About that, I was just like, oof, one of the losses is to the Raiders.
They are dead last against the run defensively. They give up 180 yards a game, 181, something like that. The 31st ranked team defensively gives up like 160. So they go from 160 all the way to 180 for the last. So this is where you're going to beat them. They're not great against the pass either. And guess what? They don't pass the ball well either. They run the ball fairly well. Dameon Pierce is the real deal.
That's good.
All Washington has to worry about. And this team, the Washington defense, they're able to stop the run pretty well. So that's all you got to do, right? You got to stop the run, and you've got to run the ball. How many times do we got to say it? And I meant to ask you guys if you watched that Dan Orlovsky clip from today.
No. I haven't watched it yet.
He's just saying what the Stoner said. He's saying we're going back to running the football. This being an NFL is going to become a run league, not a quarterback league. That's all I'm saying. That's what just put it out there. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so you just got to stop the run. You got to stop Dameon Pierce. Davis Mills is not a good quarterback. Nathan loves him. He's not a good quarterback.
Love is a strong word. Like, I like him coming out of last year. I think that he's a very capable quarterback. But I mean, he is drafted in the 4th round for a reason.
Yeah, he's basic. I've watched a lot of their games. They're professionals. They're going to do some things well. He'll do things well if he has time, right? Just like any quarterback can. If they can stand back there, receivers are going to get open. So they can do that, right? But they can't do it consistently, and they can't do it very effectively. They don't have huge weapons on the out. This should be should be an easy victory for Washington.
And we know nothing comes easy for Washington.
Yeah,
Trev,
for sure.
what do you think? Is this like we're talking about kind of a trap game? You're coming off a big win against Philadelphia. This is a horrific team, as Stoner says. Is Washington, like they've historically done, just going to play down to that level? Or do you think that they rise up and take command?
I was going to say that, oh, nice there. Nice pun. I was going to say yes, as long as we don't stoop down to their level of play and play to the 1-7-1 talent that they put out every week. I think, like Stoner said, we should blow them out of the water. We should not look at them lightly. We should look at them as another professional football team. Honestly, you should look at them as 7-1-1. Just if that helps you motivate, whatever it does to help you play to your strengths and not theirs, and they should do it. All they have to worry about is stopping Dameon Pierce, and this game is over. We just can't be cocky and come in there and stoop down their level. Other than that, it's really nothing else to this game. I see in the comments it might be a snooze fest. It might be. Let's just face it. Our offenses can be explosive, but it's not explosive. But it definitely can and has been explosive, but it's not an explosive offense right now. But
I feel like our running backs have been so close to breaking it out.
Yes.
You said that this is a really bad rushing defense.
Really bad.
Is this the day that we finally see one of these running backs break out 45-yard run? Do you think that's big enough?
I don't know about that. I mean, you might. I do see a 100-yard rusher in this game. That might be $1 if you guys want to take. I'm with you, Stoner. Yeah,
probably not the running back you're thinking though.
I don't care. I'm just gonna say a running back. Like it might be Jonathan Williams. Who knows?
It's definitely gonna be JFP. I know that.
No. Williams is back at practice. He was back at. It was a walkthrough, but at least he was back out there. I think he'll be healthy for this week. But yeah, I think if you do what you did against Philly and you just focus on that run, focus, and just pound the ball, you're going to be very successful against Houston. Again, 180 yards a game.
That's a lot, bro.
That is a lot. So we do that well. We run fairly well. We control the clock. We're number 1 in the league in time of possession. Just do that. It's very easy. We talk about it every week. Run the damn ball.
But also, I don't want to also play down to their standards where we're like we're just play boring. Like I think this is a good week to kind of open up the playbook a little bit more since they're so bottomly ranked in stopping the run and stopping the pass. Don't get too cute.
I see what you're doing, Trev. You're trying to set up Taylor Heinicke so he throws a bunch of picks so that he gets benched, and then you can say, "I told you."
I'm just trying to see if the man can provide the stats that are supposedly causing this momentum of him being on a hot streak. But no, for real though, I just feel like I think this is a good chance to see what our offense can really do when we play against an opponent that let us do those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I do want to run the ball, but I don't want to run the ball on first, second, third down. Like 49 times is a lot of runs. Like I want to see some, you want to see a little bit more exciting football. Yeah, get other receivers and other players involved. I love the Terry connection, but dang, like
I would love to see more from Jahan Dotson.
Yes,
he is such a good pick up there. Obviously, Curtis Samuel can do Curtis Samuel things. The thing is, right? So we're talking about playing down their level. If we want to dominate this game, they're going to have to make Houston one-dimensional, because as long as they can run Pierce, they're going to run him. This offense is going to be successful through him. Davis Mills is in the top 10 for sacks right now with 23. He's tied. He's actually tied with Carson Wentz, just for the record.
Wow, really? And Carson hasn't played the last 4 games?
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have a 9-sack game when you play. Yeah, so that's pretty telling, both for Carson Wentz and Davis Mills. Like he's going to be that in trouble back there. But again, Washington needs to do its part. They haven't been scoring in bunches. Will they be able to get a lead and force Houston be one-dimensional?
I mean, it's set up for us too. They don't. I mean, I don't even know who their linebacking core is or their secondary really.
Isn't
it
is. Brian Cushing? Is he still there? Still their leader.
Clifton with the donation, by the way, $2 donation. We appreciate you.
I think this sets us up to have an air raid a little bit. For real. I really do.
Yeah.
An air raid?
Yeah,
I
not
would
just
like to see it, but
bombs, but like, some nice intermediate routes and get some yak going. I really do think that this week, this is the only week we can, not only, but a very good chance for us to.
They're middle of the pack defensively against the pass. They're 16th.
We got Terry. Terry can. He cooks any
wasn't
deep.
it the Minnesota game where Minnesota's awful against the pass and we still couldn't move the ball against them?
Yes,
that's correct.
Yeah. So we got to remember the limitations of our offense as well. Clifton asks, is Chase Young coming back this week? Yet to be determined.
Yes, he is.
If he does come back, he will likely be on a pitch count.
I love that. I love that it'll be on a pitch count.
Oh, I hate pitch counts. I hate it.
You got to get the man, get his feet back a little wet.
Hey, man. Well, okay. For him, okay, yeah, I can see a pitch count because it's been a whole year and a surgery.
Yeah.
I don't like with Jahan Dotson, I didn't like a pitch count for him because it wasn't like this major injury and he had to worry about that. I'm just not a big pitch count. If you're ready to play an NFL game, play the NFL game, not play a few plays here and there. But with Chase Young, I agree. Probably he should be a little bit limited in game action. But he's playing. He's playing. He's going to be activated off the injured list. Let me just say that. Whether he plays a whole bunch or not, he's going to, because they have to make a decision this week.
Yeah.
Right? Either if they don't activate him, then he goes on season-ending IR. And I don't see that happening.
No, neither.
So he's playing.
Yeah, I agree. And it'll be like, I think that there will be a pitch count and it's going to be something that's, we're probably going to see him maybe for 15% of the snaps, defensive snaps. Do you think that's too high, too low?
That's probably too low.
Too low? You think too low?
So if they have 60 defensive snaps, then he's only going to be playing that low. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You guys could be right, but I like to see him out there a little more than that, especially against a poopy team.
Yeah, but that's all it takes is one play against a poopy team, and here we are. So just give him a pitch count. Keep him on a pitch count.
Fair enough.
Someone who else was on pitch count was the offensive line, as Kevin in the PRF is teasing on Trey Turner and Norwell needing to be on a pitch count.
It's actually gotten a lot better.
Norwell's he hasn't been not well in a while. So it's
good when you run the ball 49 times, you don't notice him as much.
And Trey Turner's he's always on the ground.
Yeah,
we got people saying it's too low. Some people are saying 20, by the way, for Chase.
I think 20. I think 20 is reasonable. That's about 30%ish.
We're working Sam Cosmi back in slowly. I think I read today.
Yeah, and so that's what I was going to bring up with this pitch count after Kevin's teasing here. Sam Cosmi saw half of the snaps. Lucas was getting the other half. I think Lucas ended up with one more snap on offense. Cosmi's slowly coming in, and when Cosmi's been in, he's looked good.
Mm-hmm.
He's looked like that second round pick and what we were seeing last year. So hopefully we could see more of that because, I know a lot of people like Lucas and they want to see Sam Cosmi in at guard. The thing is this team wants Sam Cosmi as their tackle for the future. And if you move him inside, you're ruining that development.
I agree.
Okay? So you need to keep him on the outside and find something else to happen. Maybe it's that man, Chris Paul, because I definitely been struggling up there. Gus Bus, where's our Wes Schweitzer, man? You promised us some Wes Schweitzer, and we're not even seeing him. Yep.
Is he on IR for the year? I keep forgetting. He's not, is he? He's not on long term. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, that one I'm gonna have to look up. He's definitely not happening with Washington here.
I haven't heard a peep out of his situation.
He is on IR, but it doesn't say specifically which IR he was placed onto. So that was 1 month ago. Haven't even heard it was for a concussion. Haven't heard him even working his way back from that one. So yeah, I've been listed with a concussion, Joseph says, for 6 weeks. Contract casualty. Yeah. Listen to Coach Nathan. listen to this guy. All right. Yeah. Thanks for that one, Gregory. Even if you've been, I saw some of those negative comments earlier. We got to get that positive Gregory back in here. The Houston Texans, you mentioned they're not a threat to pass the ball. They're a threat to run the ball. What's against Washington's strength, though?
Yeah.
Now, the passing attack, they're going to have to go up with the top 2 of the top 5, I think top 3.
2 and 3. Yep.
In the league, Defoe and your man, Bam Bam, Cam Curl.
Yep.
Just absolutely playing lights out at the safety position. Those 2 can also help with that running game that the Houston Texans are going to bring. What do you expect from the secondary and namely those top safeties that we have there, Stoner?
25th is their offense passing. Okay. They average only 199 yards per game throwing the ball.
Oh, so they got Taylor Heinicke back there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Washington is not much better. They're a few spots ahead at 211 or 212 yards. But yeah, I just don't see if the defense plays the way they've been playing, then Houston shouldn't do a whole lot offensively. I mean, if they give up 199 yards passing, you'd be fine with that, right? So I think that's what they absolutely have to focus on Houston's rushing game, but get those safeties up there. We saw McCain, Curl, Forrest. What were their pitch counts or what were their numbers? How many they played? Were they all 100% of the defensive snaps? I think it was something very close to that. So they're playing basically a 5-2, which we've, the whole Buffalo nickel, a 5.
Cam Curl and Derek Force played all 100% of the snaps.
And then what about
the last one?
McCain?
McCain did not.
Okay.
Fairly certain McCain was swapped out at least once, but I can go get the pitch counts here.
Yeah, I was just curious, but they've been playing. We haven't missed Cole Holcomb / David Miracle Whip, right? You haven't noticed just getting beat over the middle. Tight ends haven't been killing. People haven't been gashing us up the middle because the linebackers have been hitting the wrong holes. Jamin Davis has been playing extremely well. You just got to stop the run against this team, and you will be fine because that's where their biggest threat is. Last week against the Giants, Houston, I don't know how many yards they had. Pierce, I believe, went over 100, but one of those was a 44-yard run, I believe. He just went right up the middle, and he had a huge run. You just got to stop that. You can't give up big plays on the ground. Houston running the ball is let's see where they are. I don't even see them. I mean, they're not even that great running the ball. They average about 102 yards a game. But that's where their biggest threat is on the ground. So just stop that. I mean, Washington's averaging 112. So just take care of Dameon Pierce. Those other guys are going to have some plays here and there, and we're going to get frustrated. And Davis Mills is going to throw a 17-yard out to Brandon Cooks, and we're going to start screaming at Fuller. That's great. That's fine. You just have to kind of minimize it.
I don't think Brandon Cooks is going to be playing, y'all.
He played last week against
did
the Giants. Oh, yeah. He was out there.
By the way, McCain did play all 50 snaps as well.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought all 3 of them played 100%. So you're playing 3 safeties.
Yeah, one of the things, and John Bostic played 43% of the snaps, which is pretty hefty out there because Jamin Davis played all 50, and so they were stacking up there. And I agreed with the comment from Kevin, I believe it was, who said that Bostic's been playing a heck of a lot better this year than he did last year. I think I didn't have to curse his name, once. He was chasing somebody against, but outside of that, he's been playing fairly well. One thing on the snap count that I think we're going to have to continue monitoring because I don't think it's sustainable, and you're going to want to see these 2 get some rest, are Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne playing 88% and 84%. Payne with the 88 and Jonathan Allen with 84.
However,
you ain't got
in
nobody.
context, they only had 50 defensive plays.
Yeah, 40. So it was 48 and 42 plays total.
Yeah.
Still, those numbers have been pretty consistent, even when there's been 80 defensive plays that they've had to defend against. Now, I do think John Ridgway is going to start working his way in there. Daniel Wise only saw 4 snaps. Ridgway's been seeing more from there. And they do like putting, F.A. Obata and Tuhill, moving those guys kind of inside to kind of
Right.
help.
Have 5 DLs.
So,
Yeah.
Ridgway forced that fumble on Dallas Goedert.
Yep. So
Broke his shoulder.
it will be interesting. Gregory Fuller, he's our man. He can't do it. Throw him in a garbage can.
He is the garbage can. He just had a good game last week.
He did have a good game. I think that
did.
he can have another good game here, largely because there's no real offensive threat from them on the receiving. You got Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins, Chris Moore, and Jordan Atkins as their top 4 targets there, and none of them have more than 400 yards receiving on 8 or 7 games played. Just not a great passing team right now.
I don't know if it's a bad thing that I'm literally not worried about this game at all, or not.
It's a bad thing. You're going to be very, very disappointed, I think, come Sunday, because you're going to be frustrated it's not 32-0 by halftime.
Yeah, we should stomp these guys, y'all. Like, we should at least put up 20 points. If we put up anything less that says and still win, yeah, I'll be happy, but that says a lot about our offense. Like, we should not regress in this game.
All right, do it. Say it. What's your score prediction then?
All right, let's get those score predictions out before moving on to some game actual player game predictions. What do we got, guys? And then go ahead and get those in the comments. I know I saw Gregory, I think, said 17-14 Washington earlier.
I got 27-9 Washington.
Sean, I was just having some fun.
27-9 Washington.
What did you repeat, by the way?
I repeated. Sean said, for our audio listeners, Sean said they actually repeated that, and that was the. I believe he was talking about the Gregory's Fuller chant. It was just having some fun.
Yeah,
right.
27-9. They'll have a couple breakout runs. They'll get down to make a threat, but we'll stop them holding the 3. So,
all right.
Stoner, you got to go before me.
Yeah, I really believe.
Oh no!
I'm feeling a really good vibe with this team right now. I feel like they're hitting.
I don't like
not on all cylinders, but they're hitting a good little streak right here. Okay, everything is up here. Their confidence is up. All of that.
He builds this up all the time, Nathan. You know he does. But
16
Houston.
Washington is going to smoke Houston. I'm sorry. They just are.
26-16?
Well, 26-16. It's going to be like a 26-9, and then Houston, they're going to kind of back off and let Houston go down the field. And
okay, this sounded like the time he said that the one player was like cooking, and he's got like 5
catches,
5 yards.
Yes,
that's not what cooking means. That's not what.
I do.
Smoking is not a 10-point victory.
I really feel good about where they're at, and I was probably the only one of us 3 when they were 1-4. And I said, this team is still winning 9 games because I still believed in their overall talent and their ability to get there, right? And I think they're hitting to where the expectations are. They're not going to win all the rest of their games, but they're going to beat the teams they're supposed to beat. And they're supposed to beat Houston. And I think they will fairly easily. It's going to be a struggle in the first half. It's probably going to be like 10-3.
We're going to be asleep by halftime.
Something like that, and we're going to be pulling our hair out and everything. But in the end, I think Washington is a much better team. But I said that about Tennessee too. I thought they should have smoked Tennessee, and they didn't.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they were going to smoke Tennessee just because of the offensive woes that they've been having. But I did think that they were going to be able to beat Tennessee. A lot of people agreeing with you two so far. Doug with 31-13 Ciders.
I can't wait to hear Nathan.
Cedars, rather. HT's got 23-10 Washington. 38-13 Washington is Gus Bus. Trout 33-24
Good grid.
Washington. Sean Walker 11-6 Washington. 28-14 Washington is Caleb. 23-13 from Metaphor for the Mandos. Rockman 24-14 Washington. Bonafide 24-10 Washington. Redskins Weekly. Hey, shout out to Redskins Weekly joining us today. 23-17 Washington. I love these ones, the Michaels and Sean's what their jokes with 2-0 Washington, 5-0 Washington. You get that safety and you just hunker down. We did have a person deflecting here.
Oh no.
We did all the way down here. The Commandalorian. 19-26 Texans going to the EP School of Scoring. So that one's interesting. That's the only one I've seen that's gone against Washington so far, and now it comes to me.
Yep,
nothing comes easy for Washington, guys. This is not going to be a blowout. This isn't going to be a 10-point smoke show. This is going to be Washington winning, though. 19-13 is what I'm taking there. So I think Washington has the tools to win this game. They should win this game comfortably, but because nothing comes easy and this offense just has not been consistent enough putting points on the board. Now we will see whether or not Joey Sly can keep up his kicking. I know a couple of other people are just like EP and just get so nervous because nothing seems down the middle with them. They all seem to be just inching right inside there. Stoner, you thought he missed one.
I thought
that he got in there. So yeah, 19-13 is what I'm going to take here. But Washington coming out on top, doing just enough to get another victory in the books before heading to or coming home to face Atlanta, which should be a fun game. I'll be at that one. So
I think it's fair to say about Joey Sly, and it makes you a little nervous or whatever. But I mean, the guy is 13 out of 15 this year in field goals. He's 14 out of 15 in extra points. Come on. Let's relax on the whole Joey Sly, is terrible and all that. So
I don't think terrible is the word. It's fair to be nervous about some of those kicks. Yeah,
but he's made them. He's made all but 3 kicks out of 30.
I think our past kicking woes make us nervous. No matter who's kicking. We could have Adam Vinatieri. We'd be like, "Oh God, we don't know."
Yeah, there's a few that you never worry about. But
I want the Trepway of the kicking game, who I believe is Justin Tucker, to be on the team. Justin Tucker is an amazing kicker, just probably one of the best kickers.
Hey, shout out Tressway for player of the month, and then Joey Sly player of the week. So our special teams is
absolutely.
Tressway's mic'd up for Philly. Just posted. I will be listening to that as soon as the show is over. That is absolutely what I'm going to do. When we come back, we're going to do some more game predictions in the form of Dalla. Get some of those ready. I mentioned 100-yard running back, but I didn't say who. I will let you know when we come back from the cool down.
The cool down is brought to you by Manscaped. Ever since my Nathan started using their products, I can't cool down. Fellas, trust me. Go to Manscaped right now and get 20% off and free shipping by using the code REF. Your ladies will appreciate you. Now back to Trev, Stoner, and my Manscaped man, Nathan.
Tripping up before that one made me think, by the way, before I should have said this during the controversy, the QB talk. I made the graphic for today, and I was just like, from whence he came, right? I thought that was pretty clever in of itself, but I should have gone even one step forward and said, for whence he came, because Taylor Heinicke's taking Carson Wentz's job. So for Wentz instead of from Wentz. So if you're one of the content creators who like our stuff and watch our stuff, by all means, use that one for your own good there. I love the wordplay when it comes up for that. Gregory, you got to get yourself some Manscaped stuff. Yeah, my Manscaped man. Yeah, we crack up behind the scenes for that one. Definitely check them out. Use that code, get yourself some free shipping, 20% off. We enjoy the Manscaped stuff. Those boxers, super comfy, super comfy. All right, moving on to some of these game predictions. You guys want to hear? So Stoner, you're with me on a 100-yard rusher this game. Trev, are you taking that one?
No,
it's not going to happen.
No, I'll take it. It's not going to happen.
Okay. Now, Stoner, do you want to double down on this one?
It depends on what you're going to say.
The 100-yard rusher is not going to come from Washington. It's going to be Pierce from Houston. It's going to be the 100-yard rusher.
So
you will have at least 100.
He duped you, Stoner.
Stoner's with me. Stoner's at least saying someone's going to get 100 yards. I'm saying now specifically, Pierce is going to get 100 yards, and that's going to be what's going to keep Houston in this game. That's why I said 19-13. Pierce is a good runner. He gave fits to pretty much all the good teams that he's gone up against because he's a hard runner. Now Washington, we read off that good stat from Grant Paulson before as we started the show. Do you think Pierce can get to 100 yards?
No. Well, now I'm a little confused. Are you with me on the bet about?
Oh yeah, there's going to be 100 yards. No. I didn't say Washington.
Okay, so
words have
you off.
Words have meaning. I said there will be a 100-yard rusher, and you and I agreed and said yes, and Trev said no, and then I said, now do you want to go with me on Pierce is going to be the 100-yard rusher?
Make it 115.
I know everyone. I'm a traitor. Don't worry. I still picked Washington win this one. I just think Pierce is a good enough running back that he's going to give this team fits. This team has given up 100-yard rushers.
Not very many, though.
Not very many.
Make it 115, and I'll take the bet.
No, you're not gonna do me like I did you last time.
Damian Pierce, he a Gator.
Joseph thinks only 59. A lot of people calling me.
You know what? I think make it 110.
100.
Okay, well, I'm not taking 100. I'll take 110.
All right.
You're not willing to negotiate? Do you know how to negotiate?
Stoner, I know how to win. That's what I know how to do.
Well, you're not going to win because no one's going to know.
Averages 89 yards. He has to go on his over. Washington barely allows 110 for a team. So I'm giving you some pretty darn good odds just trying to hit 100 with this. And you're trying to scam me. And I'm not going to fall for it, Stoner.
All right.
So let's move on. Trev, you got any game day bets for us?
Yeah, I think that we will sack Davis Mills 3 times at least.
At least, yeah, I'm going over.
Yeah, I'm probably going over that too. No bet.
How about 5?
I'll take that bet.
I'll do 5.
Travis with me 5 times. Someone put in there 8 times. Washington does need to get ahead on the scoreboard for that to happen. Because the game plan is out, right? You just have to do these dinks and dunks, trying to keep that line away from you. But I think they're going to come over here. Authentic, shout out to our friends over there with Authentic the Beard. Authentic's taking the under. No 100-yard rusher.
Yeah, it's not happening. I'm with Authentic. That ain't happening.
Well, then you'll take the bet that Nathan put out there.
I did take it. I said it's not happening.
Oh, I didn't realize you.
Yeah. Damian Pierce is not getting 100 yards rushing.
Trev doubled up on it, and you backed away when you realized I had used words.
No, I didn't know that Trev took it, so I was like,
I took that.
I was like, you just don't have a bet then. But I didn't realize he had a bet. Okay.
Oh, Caleb Workman. If I think you're the guy from BV, like right here near my hometown, I'll take that bet. He does throw a pick this week for sure.
Taylor says Taylor doesn't throw a pick
every game. He's due for one.
What's the Texans turnover ratio? Are they
even?
We're gonna give him one.
We're even 11-11.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, Washington has moved all the way up that board. They're now a -2. They're right behind Houston.
Yeah. See,
remember they were like
Authentic knows
what?
Won a game.
I mean, he's gonna have a turnover. That's a lot.
19 interceptions and 7 fumbles in 20 games. He's definitely throwing a pick.
I wonder where you're going with that one. You think he throws at least one?
Oh yeah, he throws at least one. Is anybody saying he's not? Of course he's throwing at least one.
It's like saying that the
Oh,
grocery
man.
store sell groceries.
I kind of want to go against this one.
Of course you
All right, so don't.
I'm going to go against it. I'm going to say Taylor. I'm going to go with you with our commenter there, Caleb. Taylor Heinicke does not throw an interception.
Caleb, cough up that dollar right now.
Now, I'm not going to say he's going to throw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns like Stoner likes to keep saying. I just don't think he'll probably have another fumble, but he's not going to throw an interception this time. Joseph going with he's thrown to. Sean Taylor definitely throwing a pick that gets his juices flowing.
It does.
It does. All right.
Cool.
Washington.
No one took us up on that one, right? No, the 100. Doug's asking clarification here. Nathan loses if there's more than 100. I said that I think we skipped that one because Stoner thought that I was saying a Washington running back. He was going with me on that one, and then when I let him know that I was going with Pierce, he backed out entirely. So,
Washington runs the ball at least 37 times.
You're going to have to go
37?
much higher. You're going to have to go much higher than that.
At least 37 times?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so because I feel like we ran the ball that much last week so we can keep Jalen Hurts off the field. I don't think we give a damn if Mills is on the field or not. We ain't running the ball over 30 times. Not even 30 times.
Oh, okay. I'll take 30.
We're not even running it 30 times.
All right. I'll take that. I'll take 30 instead.
We should, but we won't because this Scott Turner, he's going to get excited and he's going to,
I'm with you, Stoner. Go ahead and give me that dollar right now. that was a good one. I like this one, Smitty. I think you put this one in a couple times. The Tressway punts for 3 times or less.
I'm going over. I'm going over.
You think he punts more than 3 times?
Oh, yeah.
And we punted twice last game?
Mm-hmm.
Technically twice.
Really?
So Stoner saying 4 times.
Minimum 4 punts for Tressway.
Minimum 4 punts. Where are you going with that, Trev?
We are very I think we're
3.
I'll say over 4. I'm gonna say over.
You're gonna say
4 or over.
That's probably safe. I think 4 is fair. I think 4 is probably
yeah.
So I really thought that was a good bet. I was hoping someone was going to take it. You know, this offense is capable of doing long drives and keeping the ball control. What's going on, Trev?
Gibby fumbles the ball.
Ooh, he's not fumbling.
He's not fumbling.
I'm not saying he loses it. But
hold on now.
Yeah, see? Y'all you got to listen to what I'm saying.
Trev, I'm with you. I understand. We had this argument last year.
All right, you're right.
We had this argument last year. Fumble does not mean it was recovered by the defense.
Okay, I'm not taking that bet.
Just means that they lost control of the
ball.
Come on. No. Gibson gets a return past the 35.
Make it the 45. Make it the 45.
No, I'm not making it the 45.
He had that
not
one
past the 45. It was at the 42.
Make it the 40?
Yeah, no.
Joseph's with you, Trev. He's saying Gibby fumbles once.
Nobody wants that either, huh?
Nah, man.
Okay, how about this? First score of the game is Houston. Houston will score first. That's a good one.
Make it Houston scores the first touchdown, and I'll go against you.
No.
Well, I'll go against you either way. Texans are not scoring first. They'll get the ball first because we'll win the coin toss and defer, and then we'll shut them. We'll do 3 and out, and then we'll come down and score, and then they'll score.
I'm going to abstain from that one because that field goal worries me. How about this? Mills has 250 passing yards. I'm taking
under. He's not getting that many. And that big long Merton Hanks neck that he has, he's not scoring.
How about this? Mills throws for less than 250 yards, and I saw another one there from Sean. Throws at least 2 picks.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Throws for less than 250 yards and 2 picks.
I'll take that bet. That's like a double bet or a
That's-
double
yep.
stat. Oh yeah,
I think
Nathan Mills throws under. Did you say or over?
Under 250 with at least 2 picks.
I'm going over 250 with at least 2 picks.
Well, I'm going. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying he's not getting both of those stats.
He'll throw for 252.
Do them as individual ones there, Stoner. That gives you.
Hell, Pat Mahomes threw for 440 some yards, only 120 to 17 in overtime. It's possible.
So, Stoner, you're saying over 250, but less than 2 picks.
No, I'm just over. It doesn't matter if he throws 2 picks and throws for 250. I win.
But so what I'm trying to say is Trev is going over 250. So you and I are taking the under 250. Trev is with the 2 picks and you're against the 2 picks.
No.
So separate those out.
No. You said.
Yeah, I know what I said. And then
okay, I'm
Trev
taking that bet.
Dollar. My goodness, my man. My goodness.
So you got
it is a little bit of a parlay on that part, but I'm just trying to get there for Trev's trying to show this interaction. You got a little bit in there. Let's keep it moving, gentlemen. Let's.
All right, I got one.
More.
Davis Mills throws for less than 160.
Nah, he throws over them. He throws for over 160.
I'm gonna take the over on the 160. I think.
All right.
Jahan Dotson getting another TD from PNW Trout Slayer at over 300 versus the Giants.
Who's that?
We ain't the Giants authentic. We ain't the Giants.
We actually have a defense.
They're 7-2. I wouldn't say anything in New York yet. I'm sorry. Sorry, authentic. I apologize for my counterparts here.
Listen,
you are what they say.
Let me keep it real. Okay. The Giants are 7-2. Okay. They're the second best team in the NFC East record wise. I know you love them authentic. They're an absolute fraud 7-2. They just are. Okay. They've beaten the teams. They've done what they've had to do. They are not a 7-2 quality team.
Authentic. I didn't say. I had nothing to do with that, bro. I'm just on the podcast.
I haven't said anything either since we brought up their schedule.
They were just here.
We said all of the NFC East is a bit of a fake, right? Because the whole schedule just doesn't seem all that strong. But I am not going that hard in on them authentic because we still have to play. We still have to play the Giants, and we need to
no. Don't twist my words. I'm not saying Washington is better than the Giants today. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
look what you did.
In its own little bubble, the Giants' 7-2 record is fraudulent.
Look what you did. Look what he's saying about us now. He wasn't saying anything bad about us. He was picking us on this game bet, and you want to run your mouth and say fraudulent and all this kind of thing.
Right? Yeah. See, don't change. Don't try and look over here when I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about Washington. I'm not talking about compared to Washington. I'm not talking about compared to anybody. I'm saying the Giants' 7-2 record is fraudulent. That's all.
I think all Trev's trying to say is glass houses, my man. Glass houses. Right?
No, that's not fair. You can't do that.
What do you mean?
I'm not saying Washington is better.
There and talk trash. They could talk trash about this team that's 5-5 and lost to the Detroit Lions.
See, you got authentic out here rambling now. See what you did.
Making sure, by the way, you head over to Authentic and the Beards channel. They've got great content. We are chasing them and the level of content here. Back to the dollar meta for Mills throws more yards than Taylor. Ooh, that one's a good one. They're both. They're not gonna. You're not. Don't think it's gonna happen. Trev, where are you putting it?
I think Davis Mills will throw for more yards than Taylor Heinicke.
I'm going to be with Stoner on this one. I think combined, how about this? Combined, they throw for less than 500 yards.
Well, I hope so. I don't want Davis Mills to throw for 300 or 250.
He throws for 245, and then Heinicke throws for 255. That's 500.
I'm telling y'all, Davis Mills is not going to have a good game.
All right.
He's not going to have a good game. Davis Mills, look, let me just say this, okay? Right? Got my hot take alerts out here. If Davis Mills were on the Giants, they'd be 7-2.
No, if Davis Mills was on the Giants, they'd be what? What did he say?
The Giants would be 7-2.
If Davis Mills was on the Giants?
Yeah.
No,
Daniel Jones is not carrying that team. Saquon Barkley is carrying that team.
Authentic. I'm so sorry, bro.
That one. Oh my goodness.
Daniel Jones
what a take.
He ain't that bad. Authentic.
What a take.
Who's not?
I love Purple Grapes here with this comment. We did just beat the undefeated Eagles. The Commanders haven't beat a team with a winnier record.
Except for the undefeated Eagles, right?
Yeah. Like coming in here after that one. Bonafide picker. This is where I'm at. I'm with Bonafide here. Shh. Wait a couple weeks.
No.
Then
I'm
do
not
the trash
talking
talk.
about. I'm talking about
Bro,
right here, right
they're
now.
in our division. It's trash talk no matter what. They're in our division, bro. It's trash talk.
Okay, but I'm just saying them. I'm not saying we're better.
I just love how everyone was championing Stoner during the Taylor Heinicke part. And everyone's like, Stoner's the man. Make Stoner.
Now do you see what we go through?
Everyone's like, Stoner's living up to his name. He's got the puff pass right now, which is more than Davis Mills can do. Like he's going all over the place.
Okay, we'll see at the end of the year. But I'm just saying right now.
Purple Grapes.
Oh, purple. He must be
our grapes here.
Yeah,
the
you
refs
change your name
beat
to
the Eagles. That's
Hey, Stoner, look at that.
Yeah, he's
playing free football.
Hey, okay. So authentic. He just said earlier that coaching matters.
I'm saying
the coaching is what's doing it for Daniel Jones. So if Davis Mills was there, he'd be coaching Davis Mills up. All right.
I agree. We need to have Authentic on.
He was on last year with us, so
he was on
we'll
last
try to get
year.
him on this year.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get him. Let's save the Giants talk
for
the Giants game.
All right.
Any
more
other,
get out of here, man. It's late.
Any other predictions? And maybe that's what we'll start calling for.
I gotta watch the Wizards
for this particular one.
Yeah,
this is one of the games I can't cheer on the Wizards.
Oh, that's right.
Against my Thunder, but. Any other thanks, Authentic. We'll definitely get you that information because we definitely want you back on.
Don't spoil the score in the chat, by the way, for the Wizards. Appreciate it.
Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Any other comments that you want to put on there? Obviously, we're going to be streaming this game live this Sunday. Catch us right here on Facebook, YouTube, and our Twitch channel, which is where we put our game streams. We'll provide you play-by-play and some commentary. It's a lot of fun. You can catch our latest ups and downs video that we shared.
But you don't know who won. But go ahead.
It might not even be over. Maybe that's not that. That's a yardage prediction for.
Yeah.
I turned the comments on, so I can't see him.
Yeah. So Stoner loves to watch the game. So we're going to let him go watch the game. If you want some more dollar action, catch us live on game day because that's where we're going to be there a half an hour before the game. Until then,
beat the Giants.